Hey guys, Greg here on the Vinyl Rundown. Today we're going to talk about an amazing recording artist and movie star who died today at the age of 97, Doris Day. Now my wife is a huge Doris Day fan and she has a bunch of her records. And I'm not saying she listens to them all the time, but because she's such a fan of her in movies, whenever we see one of her records in a thrift shop or record store for $1 or $2, she usually picks it up, so we're left with this big collection of Doris Day records. Doris Day, age 97, sorry to see her go. Supposedly she was very healthy up until her final days and she caught pneumonia. Long career. She started as a dancer and her dancing career was cut short when her car was hit by a train and she switched to acting and singing. So I'm just going to go through some of these records. I can't say I've listened to most of them, but there's some tunes you may have heard before. On Moonlight Bay, Paul Weston and his orchestra, 1951, a 10-inch. I wonder if the label's interesting in here. I don't know. Yeah, the old Columbia, label. And Till We Meet Again. I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. Some people think that Michael Jackson popularized that song. That's a really bad joke. Some of you may get it. Some of you may be unhappy that I even had to go there. So that when I showed you at the beginning, look how glamorous she looked back then. Doris Day in Hollywood, singing songs from her motion pictures. T for Two, Making Whoopee. Richard, you're gonna like that one. Ain't We Got Fun, Had to Be You. Secret Love. Oh, I'm thinking of a different song. Anyway, we're just going to go through some Doris Day, guys. There's a big plot twist at the end here that might freak you out, so stay tuned. If you think you know your Doris Day trivia, I'm going to surprise you, and I'm going to mention some names that are going to kind of blow your mind from the 60s. Doris Day, Cuttin' Capers. I don't know what they mean by that. Cuttin' sounds like dancing, but capers, like mysteries or the little things you put on food. What's a caper? Making Whoopee Again. Must have been a big hit for her. She did it on all three of these records. Anyway, I don't know the rest of these tunes, but Columbia, what year? We don't know. Columbia, Doris Day. What else do we got here? Wonderful Day, Doris Day, from the motion picture Lover Come Back. My wife loves her because she's wholesome and traditional and a nice girl. But I don't know what this record's all about. Is the microphone on? That would be funny. Pillow Talk. That's a funny comedy. Is that with Rock Hudson? That's a good one. That's a good movie anyway. Okay, almost done, guys. Hang with me. Few more. Thank you for hanging with me. Another wholesome girl next door, Doris Day. Daydreams. Bewitched. You Go to My Head. Darn That Dream. I like these in the olden days when they would tell you how to use the needle and everything. What type of needle should you use? Are you going to use diamond, sapphire, or osmium, which doesn't last very long? Use a Columbia needle. Engineered, tested, and guaranteed by the engineers at Columbia. Ooh, look at this one. Love Me or Leave Me, Doris Day. Is that a show or a movie? Orchestrated by Percy Faith. Okay, so that was a movie with James Cagney. And who else? Other people I haven't heard of. This one's even older because it's a lower catalog number, CL710. The really old ones are 3-digit catalog numbers. Most of them are 4-digit catalog numbers. Okay, we got Columbia 6i going on. This is High Fidelity Plus. It's got this weird sort of hype sticker that's right on the record. High Fidelity Sound. I can't read it, it's too small. Couple more, guys. Hang with me. Another movie, I guess. Jumbo, featuring Jimmy Durante and Martha Raye. That sounds like a 60s movie that maybe wasn't so successful. Movie about an elephant. Jumbo, not Dumbo. Sidney Sheldon. Martin Melcher, her third husband. His name will come up again in this saga. Alright, a couple more, guys. And please hang with me for the big surprise ending. Okay, What Every Girl Should Know. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Mood Indigo, Duke Ellington tune is on here. A Fella Needs a Girl. That's a very old-fashioned concept. Couldn't get away with writing a song like that today. A fella needs a girl. You'd be ousted from society if you wrote that song today. A couple more, guys. Can you believe how many records my wife has with Doris Day? Okay, we're going backwards in time now. 1940. Okay, she was a big band singer before she was an actress. The Les Brown Orchestra. You wouldn't even recognize her voice on here. That's when Frank Sinatra started out. Harry James in the 40s. Let's Be Buddies. Boogie Woogle Piggy. Bo Knight in Hitch Kitch Corners. Alexander the Swoos. Keep Cool, Fool. Sentimental Journey. Are You Glad You're You? On Sandy Hook Records. How many of you guys have any records at all on Sandy Hook Records? I bet you don't have any. Okay, here's a dreamy one. Day by Night, Doris Day. Dreaming about that special someone. That's right. Paul Weston music from Hollywood. Dream a Little Dream of Me. Moon Glow. Stars Fell in Alabama. Ella Fitzgerald does that. That's a great tune. And then they're showing the stereos. I love it when they show the stereos. See the Columbia, what do you call that? Console system stereo. Alright, then we have a modern record, like from the 70s. How uncool is that? To go from the 40s all the way to the 70s. Doris Day, Latin for Lovers. All these Joe Beam songs, Desafinado, Corcovado, excuse me, How Insensitive. So she was jumping on the Joe Beam, Girl from Ipanema bandwagon. Alright, I told you there were some plot twists at the end of this story. That's where we're going now. How many of you understand what Doris Day has to do with this? Huh? Doris Day? What? Doris Day had one son, even though she had 3 or 4 or 5 husbands. She had one son from her first husband named Terry. And he changed his name to her third husband, Martin Melcher. So Terry Melcher ended up being kind of a producer of music in the 60s. And I don't know if he was worked on this record per se, but he produced and managed or whatever, a bunch of Beach Boys stuff. It doesn't end there, guys. It does not end there. Terry Melcher, some of you know this story, but just let me tell it, okay? Terry Melcher was producing the Beach Boys, and he hit upon a young up-and-coming songwriter in Los Angeles named Charles, and Charles had put forth a couple of tunes that the Beach Boys ended up recording. And one day, Charles was paying a visit on Terry, and he came over to his house here in Hollywood Hills, and Terry wasn't there. In fact, Terry had already moved out, and Charles was very unhappy that Terry hadn't been returning his phone calls, and he couldn't get a hold of him. So what did Charles and his band of people do? They barged into Terry's old house. He didn't live there anymore. And Charles and his folks killed all the residents. And that man's name was Charles Manson. Terry Melcher, Doris Day's son, produced and recorded some tunes from Charles Manson with the Beach Boys. Did you know that? Okay, that's just some weird rock and roll trivia. The first guy that the Manson group killed was a music teacher that lived a couple blocks up the hill here in what's called Old Topanga Canyon. And then the other end of Topanga Canyon is where the Paramount Ranch was, where the Manson family lived. You know I love weird, dark history and conspiracies. And I'm sorry to end Doris Day's wonderful life story with the sickening, horrible story of Charles Manson. So how do I get back onto Doris Day? I don't know. Let's remember Doris in her heyday when she was young, beautiful, charming, and wholesome. Doris Day, age 97, gone but not forgotten. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe and let me know what you think.